Stop borrowing because of these reasons. Do not ever borrow because of these reasons. In case you are new here for the first time, you are so welcome. My name is Pamela. I share messages a lot on this channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much. And in case you have not subscribed yet, kindly do so by hitting the red subscribe button. Give this video a like and share it as well. Make sure you watch this video to the end. You will learn a lot. This will help you greatly. Spiritual controls physical. So many things you are doing today may end up affecting your life in a bad way without you knowing. So you have to take note. Continue watching. So many people, they borrow for different reasons. I know it's not easy. It's really tough. Like, it can be very tough for some people. But you have to know that there are some things you shouldn't borrow. Things like the ones I'll be mentioning soon. If you are borrowing because you want to buy a car, this is a bondage. Like, it's going to leave you in bondage, permanent bondage. It has spiritual consequences. This also means living beyond your means. You will hardly save. You will find it difficult to save. If you are always praying and praying and praying and doing all these things, just know that you need to drop it. There are some things you need to do yourself. Do not wait on God in everything. There are some things you need to check. Is this alright? This thing I'm doing now, is it alright? Of course, manna will not fall from heaven. You have to know that always. Just do what is right. You going to borrow because of car will make you a slave. Like, it will make you in bondage. It brings so many consequences, which I'll be listing soon. You are borrowing because you want to wed, like you want to do wedding. Because of extravagant lifestyle, you have to take note that this comes with huge consequences. Is this how you want to start your new family? Is this how you want your wedding to start with? Remember that God brings blessings with marriage. There's a blessing that comes after wedding, after marriage. You starting like this is like making your foundation not strong. You are trying to tell God that God cannot provide. You have to start with faith, with God. Remember that God promises to provide for you. Many people today, they enter into marriage with blessings. As soon as they get married, you see blessing coming in from left, from right, from everywhere. Some people, they will enter into marriage, but things will become so difficult. Are you borrowing for a party? You want to organize a birthday party because of a trending things that is happening? Are you borrowing because you want your party to be one in time? You have to take note that this has a huge spiritual consequences. Are you borrowing to buy fashion items? Maybe those things that are trending, wears, jewelry and all that. If you are the type that is doing this, know that there is a consequences that comes with it. It's very important to look good. It's very important to look clean, to look well organized. This is just a plain example of living beyond your means. Borrowing money to buy expensive clothes, expensive shoes, expensive jewelries just to be in trend only puts you in financial potholes. Are you borrowing money to buy furnitures in the house? Are you borrowing money to buy spiritual items? Spiritual items are those holy things. Things you use in praying to God. Bible. Are you borrowing money to buy Bible? Borrowing weakens a personal faith. God has promised to provide for the needs of his children. Matthew chapter 6 verse 25. Read from 25 to 34. This is the promise of God to us, to all his children. When you as a Christian borrows, it suggests that God is not able to take care of your needs. It suggests that what God has promised you, you are feeling that is not possible. You are feeling that God is a liar. You don't believe that it will come to pass. So there are so many things that debt, being in debt or borrowing can make you. It makes one to feel poorer than you are. If you're already finding life difficult, it will become more difficult. Being in debt also discourages generosity. It makes you not to be able to be generous because you are even in debt. How can you help when you are in debt? Being in debt also affects our view of God's provision. Jesus encourages us to pray for every of our needs. Pray for our daily bread every day. Exodus 16 verse 1. From 1 read to 36. God daily distributed bread to his people in the wilderness. They never lacked. He distributed manna to his people. So do not be in a rush to start borrowing. Always remember the promises of God to you. Debt can also make obedience very difficult. It will make it so hard for you to obey God. So I want to round up here. It has consequences, spiritual consequences. Remember that spiritual controls physical. It makes it hard for you to save. It makes you to kill your faith in God. That faith that is making things to work for you. That faith that is making God to dwell in you. That is making the Holy Spirit to dwell in you will depart from you. Because you don't believe that God can provide your needs. It brings frustration. It makes you frustrated all the time. It makes people not to be able to sleep. Anytime you want to sleep, you remember that you are owing somebody. You start thinking. During the day, you become so frustrated. You always be so hungry. It brings shame and disgrace. Do you want to be receiving call all the time, here and there? People asking for their money, for their property, for their belongings. Do you want any of that? There won't be peace because you are owing. That spirit will render one so useless. It will make everywhere block. It will make blessing to be difficult to come in. So anytime you are praying to God, check yourself. Are you doing those things that is blocking your way, blocking things from coming to you? You need to increase your faith instead of making it to go down, to quench. Remember that faith is what made things to work. Many things to work, especially when it comes to spiritual. May God help you. Check any of this. If you know that you are always borrowing, please try to cut it down. And as you cut it down, the Holy Spirit will dwell in you and make you stop it totally. If you are borrowing because of any of this, know that you can do without them. You can cut your clothes according to your means. Do not live beyond your means. It will affect you greatly in every ways. And the most important one is that it will block your ways. It will block blessings from coming to you. So take note of this. May God bless you. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe. Also share this video. Yes, share this video. I will see you in my next video.